Hello, Simmers. This is your captain speaking. While we're waiting for Microsoft to fix the problems with the bush traps, I thought I would do some videos on some other aspects of the Microsoft Flight Simulator. And today I'm going to start a series of lessons on the training modules that are found within the program. And so this lesson is going to be over the first lesson on basic controls and camera. I think anyone can use training, even if they have been doing this for years. I know I certainly can use some practice and help to update my skills at flying, and I hope these videos may help others do the same. So let's go ahead and get started on the basic controls and cameras. Looks like we're going to be flying from Sedona, airborne, and we're not going to land, but our training for this flight will be simply to get an idea of the instruments and also to look at the use of the camera control. And hopefully we'll learn something from this. Get to know your aircraft environment. This training session will familiarize you with basic controls to spread your wings, explore different views around the aircraft, pitch and control the aircraft using the yoke, skew aircraft direction and yaw with the rudder, and add reduced power with the throttle. So, and just a few things we're going to be doing here. Let's go ahead and get started. Shows us a picture of the aircraft we're going to be using, which is the Cessna 152. Pointing out various control surfaces like the ailerons, flaps, rudder, and elevators. I'll go ahead and pause this for a moment, and in a second we'll be right back in the aircraft. And here we are at Sedona, Arizona in our 152. So let's go ahead and get in and see what the trainer has in store for us.
Welcome to flight training. I'll be your instructor, Captain Mike Barnes. Are you ready to fly?
Yes.
Let's begin our time together going over some basic controls. Starting with your eyes. Get familiar with your surroundings. Don't worry, I have the stick for the time being. Take a look out your side windows. Visibility is optimal today. These are ideal conditions to take in all Sedona has to offer.
Move around with the mouse by holding the left button. We'll save a custom camera by pressing Control-Alt-1 and get back to pilot view by pressing A2. I think that's on the yoke. Yes. And then press Alt-1 anytime to call back your custom camera. I'll leave the custom cameras alone for now. or maybe he really wants me to do that, so we'll go ahead and do one. Let's take a look over here, back there, and go Control Alt 1, and then get back, press 8-2. Now press Alt 1 to see.
See if you can locate the airport down below. Look for the runway. It's hard
Yeah,
to miss.
there it is. Hold the
That's
E
affirmative.
to
We
focus
have
on it.
visual confirmation on the airport. And now you have your bearings. Time for you to take control.
Uh-oh.
First up on our official training list is the yoke. Some people compare the yoke to a steering wheel, and while you can turn with it, you can also pitch. Let's start with turns, though. The yoke controls the ailerons, which control aircraft roll and allow you to bank into turns. Try banking to the right.
Banking to the right.
That'll work. Go ahead and level us back out. All right. Now let's talk about pitch. The yoke also controls your aircraft's elevator, pitching you down if you push forward on the stick, up if you pull back. Pull back and see how the aircraft starts to climb. Ask any pilot and they'll tell you. Aviation is all about speed and altitude. Notice when you're pitched up, climbing higher, speed naturally wants to decrease. You'd likely need to increase power to continue climbing. Instead, for now, just pitch back down. There it is. Speed is picking up again. As you level back out, let's start talking about another control. The rudders at your feet. Rudder pedals control the aircraft's side-to-side movement, also known as yaw. On the ground, those pedals help you steer the aircraft. In the air, they align you properly during turns. Let's see you put them to use. Try to skew the aircraft's nose to either side. Just like that. Now, realign the aircraft, making sure your dashboard is 3 to 4 inches below the horizon for a cruise attitude. All right, we have one more control to cover today, your throttle. Simply put, your throttle controls the power output of the engine. Try cutting all the power and see what happens. As you may have expected, without power, your altitude decreases. Lower altitude means increased vigilance. However, you always want to keep an eye on your surroundings. Nobody likes surprises when they're flying. Why don't you go ahead and throttle back up now? Just like that, your speed is increasing. And as long as you maintain the same attitude, your altitude will keep climbing as well. There's no such thing as a natural-born pilot, but you're already off to a strong start. The more you fly, the more these flight controls will become second nature. Until then, if you need help with the aircraft, radio, checklists, you name it, I'll be here. Pass the controls whenever you're ready, or keep on flying, and I'll keep enjoying the view.
All right. That gives us a taste of the 152 and the controls for controlling the airplane. We covered the yoke, both yaw and pitch, the rudder pedals, and the throttle. And we also looked at some camera controls. So that's it for this video. Look to see you again for the next video coming up.